not going to be any better, okay?
This is that.
Ready to call the meeting to order? Ready, Bill? I'm trying to wait. It's so flower.
That I put minutes on when I'm traveling, just so.
Have a new member this month, Justin from the town of Franklin. So,
Justin, you know everybody?
I don't know.
Joe Deal,
Tell people.
John Underwood,
Ben Lassiter.
Jim Tate, John Sherrill,
Peggy Patterson,
Mark Woods.
Susan Irvin,
Chris Sanders.
One meeting, and we'll miss them all.
Harris Lamar.
I talked to him yesterday, and his surgery went well. He's getting to go work a little bit, but he's not able to get up and down a lot. So he said maybe next month he'll be back.
On the agenda, do we need to talk about our meeting times, if we need to adjust that?
Yes.
So we can have that.
Review the agenda and revise.
That's what we're doing.
You add it under.
I think just at the end.
What are you adding?
Meeting time.
Last December's minutes? Right.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion first? All in favor? Liaison comments? Jim?
I really don't have much. I would like to welcome Justin to this board. Justin worked for Macon County for several years, and he's been very helpful to me, and anything that you ever might want to know about the Jackson County, Macon County line and those issues that I've been working on for some time. Justin knows a lot more than I do. So I hated to see him go, but he was a talented county employee. I hope he'll be like Derek, maybe we can hire him back one day. In the meantime, he'll be a great addition to the town of Franklin and this board. So, welcome, guys.
Thank you. And there's a new member of the press, is that right?
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, I was taking notes.
No worries.
For those of you that don't know me, haven't met me yet, my name is Ryan Hanchat. I work for the Franklin Press. I moved here a month ago from Goldsboro. Lived in Goldsboro 7 years and worked for the paper there. And I'm a proud native West Virginian and Marshall University graduate. So if you need anything at the press, give me a call. Feel free. I'm always available.
Welcome to Macon County. I like you already. I'm from West Virginia. Public comments. We don't have anybody from the public but the press. No comments?
One of these days.
Not today, though.
No old business. I think the last thing we kind of finished up was the property. New business. I guess we'll start off with election of chairman. So we have any nominations?
I'll nominate Chris Sanders.
Second.
Any other names? Discussion? And all in favor? Well, thanks. This will be a fun ride this year.
My only request, Chris, is I'm old and deaf, so you have to speak up.
I'll try not to yell.
There's a secret up here, too.
I gotta talk quiet enough Bobby can't catch it on camera.
A fine line.
All right, vice chairman.
I'd like to nominate Joe Deal.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Congratulations.
Thanks, Joe. Welcome to the team.
Double pay.
All All right. Review of the planning board bylaws. I don't think since I've been attending these meetings over the past 3 or 4 years, I haven't had any discussion, or seen any discussion on bylaws, the ordinance. And so we had several new members, so I thought it'd be a good idea for us to kind of review the stuff and go through it.
Get out of my chair, yeah.
Yeah.
I think as we move forward, looking at planning for the county, it's important that we keep in mind what our goal is and what we've been asked to do by the county and by the commissioners, and by the citizens of Macon County. So with that being said, Matt, you want to walk us through this?
Sure. The rules of procedures, that's basically the bylaws for the planning board. That's, under section 1, you'll see the general powers and duties, and that basically gives the duties and powers that's been assigned by the commissioners to the planning board. And I'm not going to read them all. Just hit the highlights here. Makes those the county and surrounding areas, prepare and adopt plans for achieving objectives. Advise the board of commissioners concerning the use and amendment of means to carry out certain plans. Perform any other related duties that the board of commissioners may direct. That's usually where most of our stuff comes from their direction. And then, of course, section 2 is miscellaneous powers and duties. Article 3 talks about membership roles and terms of office. We're an 11-member board. If you're not from the town of Highland, been appointed by the town of Highland or the town of Franklin, you're in one of the first 9 seats. And then the 10th and 11th seats are Highlands and Franklin, and they have 4-year terms instead of the normal 3-year term. I think it's 3 years. They've gone 3-year term.
I don't know if they changed that when they, I don't know if that was, Jim, do you know if they amended the ordinance when they changed, when they added the term limits and stuff? Or is that just a management issue?
I think that was across the board. It wasn't just for the planning board. It was in general.
So those terms probably stayed the same then?
It's 2 consecutive terms.
And then, of course, we have the planning department and then the liaison by board. Section number 4 under Article 3 is probably one of our biggest ones that deals with us and how we attend the meetings. Because all citizen members should attend planned board meetings regularly. The planning board chairperson or their designee may excuse absences. The planning board shall notify the board of commissioners when any member is absent from 2 consecutive meetings without an excuse, and the term of that member shall be vacated and a successor appointed. And that's something that we need to probably, if you're going to miss a meeting, let me or Chris know. If not, most, if you just let me know, it's excused.
Yeah, it's just we don't want to have people come down from Highlands and not enough people here for a quorum. So we know in advance, it's helpful for everybody. Save a lot of time.
And then we just went through the election of officers. That's is the third Thursday of the month at 4 o'clock, and it's always in this location unless we have a special meeting. we have to discuss that again sometime tonight, see if that's still a good time and place for everybody. The chairman can call special meetings upon request, and of course, all that's open to open meeting laws. The way meetings get canceled, if there's no business for the board, or whenever so many members notify the secretary of inability to attend and a quorum is not available, the chairman will dispense with a regular meeting by giving proper notice prior to the meeting. That proper notice by the open meeting laws is supposed to be 48 hours ahead of the meeting, so you know you're not going to be here, let us know. For a quorum, we have to have 7 members. So if you can't make a meeting and there's 7 of us that still make it, the business will go on for 7 of y'all. And then Article 6 goes to the order of business, basically everything that we should look at if we need to as far as an agenda is concerned. We don't usually go in that order just because we had changed it when Carl was in. If you want to do that, we can. It's sort of and then the section 2 of that is the order of business and special meetings. Business in those meetings, special meetings, is only supposed to be for what is being notified in advance to the public. And then Article 7 talks about hearings. If for some reason it's determined that we need to have a public hearing, then that's the procedure we go through for that. And then Article 8 is how to amend the bylaws. We have amended them.
So the bylaws are in our control. Just again, it has to be started in writing the meeting before the proposed changes.
I think it could be a special meeting. Any questions? Shoot, Peggy.
We have so many new meetings. At one time, you gave us a list of the emails and the phone numbers of all of the members. Do we have a new updated list?
You will have one coming out probably next week. We had to wait for the chairman to change places so I could put him in. And then we knew Derek was coming, and then vice chairman. You should probably have that next week or so.
I have one more question.
All right.
I was trying to call you and a couple of the members, and I went into the county site, and why have all the phone numbers been removed out of that site with the exception of mine? I'm the only one that has a phone number listed in there.
Perfect.
I'll check on that too.
You wasn't supposed to have found
Well,
that.
wait a second. I was trying to call Matt, find out for last month's meeting, what, you know, who were having one. 'cause I
Maybe
hadn't
you're the
got an email.
featured member of the month.
Nobody called.
For complaints, call.
That's funny.
Oh, I can handle it.
Good thing it wasn't a hot topic. Your phone would have been ringing off the hook.
And you can thank Bobby. Bobby's usually the one that gets the hot milk. He's out there keeping us informed, keeping everybody informed. You want to talk about the rest of this while we're here?
The ordinance? I
Yeah.
don't know, the ordinance kind of just sets up who, just says we're working at the leisure of the commissioners. So I think as long as we all understand that.
This was where they amended it, where Mr. West was a commissioner, he amended the planning board ordinance. And this is basically saying how we work for the commissioners and how that works.
And then I think the mission statements, just, it's important to remember what we're all here to do. And so if everyone just wants to keep that in mind as we move forward. Any questions? All right, the rest of our new business. Discuss existing infrastructure and future infrastructure needs of Macon County. I'm assuming, unless someone corrects me, this is all utilities, including what the town of Franklin has, what the town of Highlands has, where they extend to, where should they extend to, and And I don't think it's limited to water and sewer. I think, high-speed internet could be part of the conversation. I think cell phone service could be part of the conversation. And other than that, I think all we can do is kind of gather what we want to talk about, what tools we might want to bring to the table for the next meeting or over the next few months, what people we might want to discuss things with in the county, whether it be EDC, tourism, or airport, someone from the school board.
I think we also need to consider the towns.
And obviously, we need to try to interact with the towns.
Would transportation be included in this?
I believe so. I think it's our chance to try to get all these departments together and understand what everyone's doing so that we can start planning for the future, not for yesterday.
I'll try and interject a little bit more. I think Chris is hitting the nail on the head, so to speak, with what he's saying, but it was discussed among the commissioners at probably our December meeting, maybe our January meeting, that we were looking at possibly some new capital projects that the county might want to consider over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And we got to talking about what doesn't seem to be a really good plan of what we have now. So we came up with the thought of tasking y'all, unless you actually do some planning of where you think this might need to go and what the commissioners need to be thinking about down the road, where we need to go, where we need to be considering putting infrastructure in, and what that infrastructure might need to be, so that we're equipped not only maybe for future economic development, but for future populations, future housing. Keep Macon County heading in the right direction. And we'll help, I'll help pull in people together that we need to, from Town of Highlands, Town of Franklin, county staff, wherever y'all think y'all might need to get your study done, we'll help you get it together.
So you see us coming up with a report on different topics, saying what we
Possibly,
see
yeah.
as needs or processes?
Yeah, and possibly even if we get to do some type of county overlay map that highlights these areas, it might say this area, I'm gonna throw this out on that, or we know we passed Parker Meadows the other night. Maybe we need to think about septic out that, or maybe the Iowa School and the airport, maybe we need to get water out there. Maybe we'll look at some of these areas and prioritize where we need to start considering where that needs to go.
I think one thing we need to look at too, what inventory's out there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, where the water and sewer stalls at.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, even as a commissioner now, I couldn't tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a map that shows that, so.
We got some maps to show where all the water and sewer is. As you just recently was updating some stuff with the new Swiss colony, water lines and the new sewer. Yeah, it was actually one of the little projects I helped Derek with before I left the county. Was we took some of the, and we did some for Jack, took the new sewer line, the survey drawings, and put those in the GIS form. So we have some a rough estimate of where the lines are, not in a survey map, because it's just transferring from the map to the GIS map, but use a general reference where everything is.
And it's one of the Town of Franklin's discussion points right now.
Yeah, they're bringing up about trying to expand their water plant. I don't know of anything on the sewer. I know they just did some upgrades to the sewer, I think, to make it a little bit more efficient. But yeah, they're.
I think they had some capacity too, you think about continuing the line, I think the plant was
Yeah, they've done some, I think they had some, maybe some lines too small, stuff was bottlenecking, so I think it'll handle a little bit more now. But now the water, something I'd have to discuss with the board and the town manager to see what their goals is for the water plant. I know they have had the discussion on expanding it.
Sure.
Do you know if Matt, the GIS stuff in Holland?
I don't know how. They might. You know,
for the town of Highlands for that, so you might talk to him about, he may can give you a big jump start on some of that. But I know they're doing all the telephone poles and everything up there, and I think they've done the water and they're working on it, so.
There's quite a bit of stuff in the comprehensive plan related to the subject too. And there's a map of where the water and sewer was at the time we did the comprehensive plan, but it's since.
That's through what, 2009? That's where those
Is
maps.
that 8?
I got a map of the sewer lines at the town of Franklin from Derek, and it's a pretty good map. It took me about 3 months, but I got it.
I think the comprehensive plan was probably done 3 or 4 years ago, so I guess it may have been based on those 9 or something.
I believe, let's see,
It's my knowledge, since then, we've probably added.
it goes all the way up to June, here's fire department event responses up through June 30th, 2010.
We've added,
Since then, on water, you've added Rivers End, Swiss Colony, water. And the new sewer line out from bypass, going through, through Dale Depot Street, along the freeway, you've added that new sewer line. That's been your biggest majority of, it's probably changed since then.
Some of the other information here goes up through 2009. It'd be nice to,
updated.
yeah, because, is the trend going this way, or is the trend going this way from, be helpful for traffic counts, more parcelization? Be able to overlay those, should be GIS, be able to overlay that stuff from 2010 to 2014, but we'd be able to get something like that from the county.
We should be able to, it's just a GIS man here and do it.
They still don't have a little bit.
You got some Florida.
Somewhere.
Okay.
And that's all information that we'll need all that information to ever start to.
Didn't Drake do a lot for internet?
Yeah, Boston West is Drake's. I don't know where it goes exactly, other than between Franklin and Tillman, Franklin, Hayesville, and that kind of thing.
But he put a loop in, so if it gets caught one direction,
Yeah,
you
usually.
can still get out the other.
I still don't know exactly where it goes. I think you got lots of issues that I think we need to talk about, the last mile kind of thing. Even though it's out there on the loop, it costs $1 gazillion to keep you running your business.
Right.
And, I don't know if we can solve that, but I think that's something that, from economic development perspective, I think that's very important that we think about that.
We did have some maps when I was still at the county on, we showed where Boston West fiber was.
I just haven't seen them other than general terms, right there between.
There was some that I know we had, that we just kind of, county wanted them, so they can know where when new offices, they can get fiber.
So how difficult or time consuming would it be for us to get maps showing water and sewer, current development, internet as it exists, and do overlays of those?
You need to think about cell phone tower.
The water and sewer wouldn't be hard to get, I mean, that's just simply.
I think that's very
I
easy
can,
one.
yeah, I can take that and I have to go down to the county and get it printed because I don't have a plotter. But now the infrastructure for the fiber and your internet, you have to also get up with your the agencies that have the internet and try to get something from them. Get something set in stone to see what they have where.
Let's see what they're planning. They might have something like that going on.
Maybe some idea of where there's been more commercial property land transfers over the past 5 or 10 years. Or look at corridor, how much property's been sold or bought along the corridors. To kind of see where the trend is.
I know Stacy Goffey was working, I worked with them on the loop when they brought it into Franklin, and he probably could tell you, or give you maps of where that Falls and West Loop's at. I know it comes into Main Street, because they were talking to me about hooking onto it here last week, actually. But I think we could get some information possibly from Stacy on that.
far as road plans, does the TIP include mapping or just listing? Do we get project dates for projected road improvements through the TIP?
You could get a few, like Town Bridge, they released it to be replaced in 2016.
So it's primarily just listed rather than, we'd have to put their projects on a map if we really did.
You could probably get the maps, once it became released, you could probably get it.
Is there a list of proposed projects, like in a 25-year plan or something?
Well,
With the understanding that it's proposed.
you know, I mean, the TIP lists projects and their status.
And they prioritize it for each county. Would be worth talking
One of the biggest things that I can see that's gonna hit Macon County this year is that they started the 4-laning through Rayburn County. And Jimmy, do you know what's in the making, or if there's anything we could do to get the state to move on improving 441?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know, in Georgia, the counties have a lot more to do with road systems than they do in North Carolina, so.
But
I
we
don't
need-
mind asking at all.
We need to make sure that our representatives in Raleigh ask for it. I know they have to go and ask and get it on the books.
Yeah.
Because they've really done well in improving Jackson County roads. And our 441, I drive it every day and it's falling apart.
We did do a transportation plan with a local committee in Macon County just a few years ago, about the same time as we were doing the comprehensive plan. And so we should have that transportation plan that the county committee did too.
I'm just curious, what's the state of Georgia gonna do like food dealers in Mountain City?
Take it down.
They're
They've
gonna-
already got it started.
So they're gonna widen up where it is?
I don't, right there at the Raby Gap School where they did that, that's actually for I saw a sign there. It's for a water line they've been doing. I don't know of any, I traveled down there a lot, of any, and they're talking about where they just cleared all that property. I saw something about a development, build to suit there. I don't think that's road right through
I
there.
think that's the new water line to the plant. Isn't it? Or from the-
The highway's supposed to go right through Osage's building.
Is it?
And it's taking, I work with the antique dealer there, and they've cleared out their stores and stuff down there, and they've got it.
I saw they were
lined out.
liquidating everything.
And the man that's handling a lot of my stuff on consignment, he was in the office, and he said they were taking that antique building on the right.
My golly, Diller and Mountain City are gonna go away.
Yeah, that's why they didn't do, they were supposed to have that done by, was it 96 or 98, whenever the Olympics were in Atlanta, you know, and they got in a big deal then about, you know, going through Diller to Mountain City, and they want, I guess the DOT, Georgia DOT wanted to bypass it, didn't they? Bypass.
But anyway, it's going right through, and they've already vacated, moved, they tore down the old building there, the Diller building. And when I came back through there last weekend, they've got them marked off and putting the sewer line in now, but they're 4-lane.
We need to try to stay on track with the
Come there,
I think it's important to see that this stuff's happening, but
that's one of the.
What is DOT? They got any proposals out there for 441?
They kicked around taking out that turn lane for years, but there's nothing been.
In the near term, it's gonna have to be resurfaced. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's wore out. Yeah, ponds, and cracks. Actually, somebody told me when they sealed the cracks with the tar strips, you know, a year or so ago, that was in preparation for resurfacing. But I've not seen any sign of it, so I don't know.
Oh, it has to get on the books and all.
Yeah, that's why we need to see that. Yeah.
And we're gonna have to get active to get it done. I mean, you can't sit here and expect them to find it.
How much cooperation do you think you get from like project like Boston West? I mean, I see, you think they would come in and make a presentation about what they have?
I think all we can do is approach them and ask. I mean, probably need to talk like to Northland or whoever does cable in Highlands now.
How do you, you're out 441, how do you have the internet?
Through Morris.
I didn't even know Morris existed.
Yeah.
Was it cable company?
It's limited.
It's limited, yeah.
And Highlands actually has now too, Highlands Cable. They've come into the town, right? Highlands Cable Group.
So I wonder, I'm sure they have maps of some sort. I wonder if it's something they'll share or.
They don't know.
Well, there's some
They just
truth
go
to that.
Cable can video.
Yeah, we'll
Cable
try to
can
take your
video.
DSL up and then tell you you can't get it.
A month later, you go like, when y'all coming? Oh, we found out we don't have it.
Another thing would be interesting to know about natural gas, exactly where it is. It's pretty much just commercial for the most part, unless you have to be along the corridor, you know, I don't think they're extending it for residences unless
Is
you.
it running to Highland?
No.
Not that I know of.
I think too many rocks.
Runs about 441,
And water rod, it makes it happy.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it like this. Fire.
and I had to pay for them.
Line,
It's on the left-hand side of the road.
See, we can't do
Do
that.
the whole thing.
Drill.
John's on the wrong side of the road too.
So we'll need to call the EDC and see if they see a trend,
Me too.
any interest in one place or another.
Susan was talking there earlier about not having any cell phone coverage at her house. Of course, she's, 9 or 10 miles out too, near McCoy Bridge, but the cell towers, we keep adding those. I guess we're getting better coverage, but it would be interesting to see a map, I think, and see, where the circles.
We have no high-speed internet coverage either.
And I think high-speed internet and cell phone is important for younger families. And I think it's something that a lot of people look for nowadays. Businesses and families, and so much stuff work-wise is done over the internet. So many people work from home now. They don't have the resources, and those are people that can't benefit from Macon County.
Some people may not move here because of the lack of.
Really,
Absolutely.
that's the first thing they ask when they come into a real estate office. And I have no phone coverage where I was at, I didn't have, because I live right before you get to Chris's house, but further off the road on the creek. And I had to buy a booster that hooks into my router, and I had to connect the router through Frontier, and now I've got full 5-bar coverage
In your house.
in my house, and in about my.
But I've got the same thing, and Scally has nothing either, but it just serves this one little building. It'd be nice to be able to walk outside and actually use the phone.
Mine will cover about
Go down the
100
road.
feet
Yeah, I'll
around.
go down the road or do something other than stand next to it.
It covers the car. Really.
I know from Burlington community,
It's the
big.
guys.
And once you leave the airport, there's no
Yeah,
cell
there ain't
phone
nothing
coverage.
past, yeah.
I didn't know.
What's past there for?
That's even an option.
Okay, well, since the water and sewer are gonna be easiest to get, why don't we try to work on that first? Try to see where that's going.
If we could get those transportation, the TIP list, that would help us too by knowing what, even with water and sewer, to know where the road projects are planned would be helpful.
I think it's really important to know where the roads
Yeah.
projects are proposed.
Well, the county would also have access to private sewer systems too, right? Septic systems, well, septic systems, yeah, commercial, I mean, the country clubs have them. I think there's one on at least one on 441, private. Could you pull those up too, so we can kind of see where those are across the county?
Yes, because that would definitely let you know you don't need to get sewer to that degree, because it's essentially already got private sewer.
Sewer line stops at the well.
I don't know. I think I haven't looked.
There's a pump right there.
The water does, which I think the county actually owns the big tank by the Welcome Center. I think that's their tank.
From the hill beyond Wilkes.
Yeah. Which is,
We used to own it, I think they handed it over, didn't
I think it's still the county. because it wasn't, they put it in and then because it wasn't supplying enough.
I'll pass it along.
It's a long too. I saw the county working on it a long ago. We like Steve Beck, that court, I mean, we spent 6 months ago right there. The new school, line for the new school comes down Skinny Creek to the Wellness Center. It's going back this way. That, back like the late 90s. But I don't think it goes much farther
Not
south.
like it was.
Like Florence Place. Somebody was telling me that that's served by a private, septic, not just a septic system, but a community system.
It
The whole
is.
development behind it is.
Richard Jones put that in, and it comes down from Coweta, Campground, Coweta Creek.
But knowing that that stuff is theirs would be helpful.
Covered all of the Fleur Mill House properties, and closed.
I didn't know that was there. I tried to find it. It's all staying there.
I can hear it doing
Can we get any updated population data? We can know what the infrastructure is current if we're wanting to see about planning for the future. Are we,
Census data from 2010.
that's as updated as we can get, other than,
And you probably.
They
have
get
to-
estimates out past 2010, they have some estimates, but there's nothing, it's not set in stone or nothing.
2010 will be the last
Yeah.
somewhat concrete, everything else will be
it. Even the estimates. would be useful.
estimates we can use, because we want to plan the future infrastructure. Well, if we're,
Schools.
is our population growing? Is it declining?
Where is it going?
Where's it growing? You know, there ain't gonna be no need to run sewer line out to Carthage J if they've lost 800 citizens, and,
Unless you build a wall.
Highlands Road. Well, that's true too.
Sky Mountain's gonna be one, I think it's the future of Jim Mine. I mean, I think it's a growth point for Macon County.
You know, where are the growth points? It's gonna be putting pressure on the existing infrastructure.
Do we have a way to determine that? Where it goes has been?
You can look by recent sales, you can go into the tax department, ask for the past sales in the past 5 years and see where the
Mapping
majority
department, we should be able to get it from the mapping department, the parcels that sold in
Break them by
2000, we can break that down by year, can't
There's
you?
not been too many new ones built in the last few years. It's been mostly, a lot of the activity's been to sell existing homes.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever the movement of those,
Yeah.
have been.
Well, you may could get something from the school boards, looking at, you know, how much schools have grown, or, you know,
Or not?
the attendance
Yeah.
that's grown in a school, or, you know, one area or the other.
Yeah, like South Macon has 100 more students out of this year than it has in the past few years.
Well, and a simple way of looking at it is, when I graduated from Franklin High in '01, we were a 3A school in sports, and now they're a 2A school. So you know the population went down some since then. Just thinking of that, I don't know how much the difference it is, but that's a simple way of putting it, figuring it has dropped down some.
You're looking at the different schools we do.
Yeah, and I had never followed, but some of that sports and getting it dropped down is more for the athletic program than the true attendance.
We'll take a big 2A, we will a small 3A.
But there must be a rise in population and, you know, children and younger families if we're needing so many more recreation facilities than we've ever needed before. So.
Well, we've lost access to some.
Yeah.
What,
As you sold the schools off, some of the access.
what we're seeing, the real estate sales is not gonna help you much there, because we're seeing that the second home people are no longer coming to Macon County. We've got year-round people, and the houses it's selling is going for year-round people. The houses have been there and they show up, but we've got full-time residents now instead of summer residents.
I mean, that's very useful information.
And then are
It's
most
just
of
right
them
there.
first-time home buyer?
Well, not necessarily. A lot of people are like myself, they bought them up as rental property, which makes a difference and stuff on it too. And there's a lot of people that's got a lot that was coming up and spending the summer their children can't afford to come spend the summer, so they're selling those properties to either for rentals or full-time residents. It's been a long time since I've seen a sale for somebody who's coming just for the summer.
It'd be important to know that, though,
Second
to
home.
see where people are investing in Macon County. They invest in auto or Cowee or here downtown.
And also that, the tourism might be inclining more toward rentals and purchase is very useful information for those people.
Are your rentals like vacation rentals?
No,
Or they're like
they're
permanent
year-round
residents? Yeah.
residents, HUD, I rent a lot to the HUD rentals and just people that's looking to rent a house.
Right.
Small places and cabins and cottages, but they've taken all those. And these foreclosures, a lot of those are being bought up by people that's gonna rent them. And with the new projects, apartments that's been built, a lot of the rental properties or the people that was in the rental business have put those back in the market and reselling them.
You be able to compile all this data for us, man?
Not in 1 month, but we'll probably start and work our way through each piece and come back to something. That's what Chris and I were just talking about.
Yeah, I think if we start with the most accessible stuff, and then just kind of the next few meetings have some specific topics to discuss based on what we've come up with this evening that seems to be important to us as part of the subject, and then try to come full circle at the end. I think we need somewhere to start.
Do you have the report, Matt, that local transportation committee did? I can't remember what they were called. They were doing there was a committee, Carl Gillespie was on it. They did a study of what the local group recommended to DOT, and then DOT was supposed to take that into consideration with their planning.
I don't know, I haven't, but
The county has it.
Jack or.
Yeah, because I think it would be really good, I think that would be really useful, and it's just one document, it should be pretty easy to
Just
get.
the information. They track it.
We'll go over a list of stuff we've come up with and see if we need anything else.
Sure. Natural gas, school board and school trends, school population trends, transportation, EDC, airport, land transfers, traffic studies, large community septic systems, water and sewer maps, cell phone coverage, internet coverage, and the local transportation plan we were just talking about.
About power, just power. I mean, I assume that
There's
we
probably
have
some places where you can
more
get
than
more
enough
service
service,
than other
just
places.
where the substations are.
And that may be something that EDC is pretty familiar with.
And generally, the fact that Duke's regulated, they have to provide service to anybody who needs it. The more they need it, the quicker Duke is to, the more they need, the quicker they are to respond, of course. So I think that's, we can get somebody to come and talk, but I don't know.
Probably not, I don't even know if we need to talk, but just, a map, you can see, well, when we have power, plenty of power running out, there's a substation in Scaly Mountain. I mean, we have more power than we need.
See, that's Haywood, but
If we end
now
up,
Haywood should be in pretty good shape, or the old Nantahala area that Duke serves around Franklin.
if we end up with overlay maps, it'd be good to show, I think it's logical, to show national forest, conservation areas, so that we would know where development wasn't gonna be going. And it wouldn't hurt at all to have prime agricultural land shown there too.
I think there was some stuff in that comprehensive plan, I remember
It's the voluntary ag district
Yeah.
parcels.
Yeah, there's some stuff, I've done some stuff with that. There was, I think there was some stuff though, I remember giving some numbers, breaking down by township and how much of a township was private and public. So you knew, so some of them, it might have been 50% private and 50% public, or 75, and some might have been only 30% private. There's a lot of, stuff like Vernon Town, one of them, there's really not a lot of private, and a lot of public lands.
another thing that is very important to people dying out in the county is your fire department districts and your ambulance services and those things. And even the size of the trucks makes a big difference where they can get in and out to a lot of properties too. And that might be something,
Volunteer fire department.
the volunteer fire department. Because I know some areas have an ambulance right there, in other areas they have to come, even though,
Some of that information is in here also.
It is a lot in there about that. Warren helped us with all that.
most all of it's in there somewhere.
Now, does the land trust have map showing all conservation areas for the county?
Yeah, we got certain ones, yeah.
And this, none of this contains 2010 census.
Thinking of the timeline of what's happening, so.
Yeah, that was.
See, the
I think we were working
they
toward
would
doing
come
the
out.
census.
Until 2000.
We had a problem.
All right, anything else to add to the list, or are we good?
Cover my term.
All right, the meeting times. Is everyone okay with the time we've been meeting, or do we need to adjust it to accommodate anyone's schedule?
Is the day okay? I mean, the day first and then the time second, or third Thursday?
We're the third Thursday at 4 o'clock.
It's fine with me, I just, if we're gonna
We just
revisit it, we probably need to talk about
If we keep the 4 o'clock, then it's fine.
Yeah, I think we just needed to make sure, you know, it used to be 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that got to be difficult when we had long meetings.
Yeah. And then we bumped it up to 4 o'clock.
Presentation.
Well, with kids and sports, 4 o'clock, it sounds crazy, but 4 o'clock normally works better, but you normally make the game if it is, I'm going to a basketball game here just a little bit, that's why this day works for me.
Would anybody consider it being the first or the second Thursday of the month?
The town doesn't meet on Thursday.
No, we're on Wednesday.
He's fine with me.
Well, I'm out of town.
Made a Wednesday.
Thursday of the month. I couldn't get back in time to pay my bills first week of the
What
month.
is the town planning board meeting? Mondays,
Mondays,
Tuesdays?
yeah, everything down.
I like Thursdays. If the first week of the month, Thursdays is fine, but I like it, you know, if it was a little earlier in the month, it would be better.
Is anybody opposed to switching to the first Thursday? Same time, 4 o'clock?
Do you know when Highlands, we meet on Wednesdays, I think. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, let's do that.
What?
Take it in consideration and bring it back to the next meeting. Let everyone get a chance to look at their schedules. I think some people are new on some boards this month, and
So what are you thinking about the?
The first Thursday, or even the second Thursday.
So in March, we'll meet on the third Thursday.
Yeah, we'll keep
We'll
the same
keep the
time.
same schedule and we can come back with a consensus. for the next meeting.
Okay.
we'll put that on old business.
Yeah. Because I could make the second one Thursday in March.
Was that just a one-time thing?
Yeah, it's spring break.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Carl.
He'll probably snow again, you'll be going to school, won't you?
Duck hunt.
No, I'll be at the beach. I don't care if school or not.
That's what I'm looking for too.
And beach houses for
All right. Motion to adjourn?
So what's our next meeting date is?
Tuesday, Thursday, March 20th.